Our family is facing some tough times. My daughter's stepmother doesn't like me because my daughter dropped out of school. She said mean things to us, making me really mad. Even though my daughter warned me that she judges people by their education, I couldn't forgive her. I felt like she deserved to be treated the same way she treated us. Then she insulted my husband, and I got even angrier. Fired her husband from his job right away. I'm the boss of a big company, and I decided to teach her a lesson for picking a fight without knowing who I am. My name is Patty, and I'm 54 years old. I'm the president of a company, and right now, I'm living with my daughter, Nicole, who's about to get married. Life has been busy, especially since my husband died in a car accident when Nicole was just 3 years old. I still wonder why he left us. We promised to always be together. Now I'm a single mom, and I miss the times when we were a happy family of three. Sometimes, when I think about the past, it's hard to remember much because I was so overwhelmed. After my husband passed away, I had to take over his company. I had to juggle everything by myself, running the household, taking care of Nicole, and managing work. I didn't have any family nearby to help. I had to do it all on my own. Mom, are you okay? You're not sleeping at all. Nicole would worry. Yeah, I'm fine. Mom has to work hard to take care of us since Dad left. And I want to work hard so we can go on trips together. I'd reassure her. Nicole started helping out with chores as soon as she was old enough to understand. Even in elementary school, she pitched in with laundry and cleaning. When we had free time, we'd go to the park, shop, or eat out. It was a lifestyle I never expected as a single mom, but it was possible because of my amazing employees. The company's sales kept going up, so our life became more comfortable and prosperous. I started to notice something wasn't right with Nicole when she was in her 3rd year of middle school. One day, her homeroom teacher called me in. At first, I thought maybe she had a fight with a friend, but the teacher told me Nicole had been skipping school. What? But I have breakfast with her and see her off every morning. I said, feeling confused. I told the teacher, but I was at a loss. Nicole would say she was going to school, but instead, she'd spend time in libraries or parks. There were even reports of a student in uniform at a bookstore during school hours. Is there any trouble at home? The teacher asked, but I couldn't think of anything. Nicole always seemed happy and kind. I never noticed any problems. But now, I realize I might have missed something important. But Nicole acted normal when she got home, greeting me with her usual mom. Welcome back. You're late. I'm hungry. I knew I had to address the problem, so I gathered my courage and asked Nicole about it. Today, your teacher called me at school. I began. What? That was the first time I saw Nicole's expression change. I'm sorry. I completely missed your worries, I admitted. Nicole looked surprised, probably expecting to be scolded. If you have any worries, don't hesitate to tell me. Mom will never force you to go to school. I assured her. That's when Nicole started to open up, tears streaming down her face. It turned out that she had been ridiculed and laughed at in school because she came from a single-parent family. Ours was the only family like that in her middle school. I haven't done anything wrong, Nicole said tearfully. You're right, Nicole. You've done nothing wrong. It's my fault for not noticing how much you were suffering. I'm sorry, I apologized. We talked until dawn, and we decided that Nicole didn't need to force herself to go to school anymore. We were already at the point of deciding her future. But honestly, that didn't matter to me anymore. Nicole tried going to school on good days, but it seemed she never quite fit in with her classmates. At first, there were some kids she got along with, but even they distanced themselves when they found out she was from a single-parent family. By the time she was about to graduate, Nicole seemed to have accepted her situation, saying something like, "It's fun having all sorts of people in the world. Everyone's just narrow-minded." Of course, I agreed with Nicole. I have the company my late husband started, and thanks to our hardworking employees, we can live comfortably. But I wonder how people would see us if we didn't have this source of income. Nicole graduated from middle school without any issues. However, she chose not to go to high school, so she ended up being a middle school graduate. But in today's world, as long as you're willing to study, you can always start over. So I thought it was okay to wait until that time came. Nicole, who started working after middle school, worked harder than I had imagined. My dream is to marry the man I love and become a wonderful wife, Nicole said one day, now over 20 years old. Occasionally, she mentioned marriage, which made me think she probably had a boyfriend. "Hey, Nicole, do you have a boyfriend?" I asked. "Yeah, you caught me. Yes, I do. We've been together for a year now. His name is Fred. He says he wants to marry me," she revealed. "That's amazing. You're already talking about marriage," exclaimed, feeling happy for her. While we were enjoying a leisurely dinner and getting excited about Nicole's future dreams, it seemed she had hit another big obstacle. "Actually, I ran into Fred's mom by chance when we were out on a date," Nicole shared. "Really? What was she like?" I inquired. "Well, she was kind of scary and might have made some snide comments. She even brought up education," Nicole explained. "I see. It seems Fred's mother values education and has an old-fashioned mindset. It's outrageous to check educational background at the first meeting," I remarked, feeling frustrated. But according to Fred, it's a usual thing for his mother. Nicole honestly told her that she was a middle school graduate, which seemed to shock her. Unbelievable. I've never heard of someone being just a middle school graduate nowadays, Fred's mother exclaimed. "Fred, are you really okay with this? Maybe you should rethink this. This girl is definitely not right for you," she added, saying such harsh words in front of Nicole. As her mother, I was furious to the max. But then I wondered how Fred responded to his mother. Did he protect Nicole? However, it seems Fred did his best to defend Nicole. "Mom, please stop judging Nicole based on her education alone. She's not the person you think she is." I fell in love with Nicole for who she is, not her education. What's that supposed to mean? You can't listen to your mother's opinion. Everything has gone well because I was here. Have you forgotten all the favors I've done? Fred's mother retorted. "No, it's not like that," Fred replied. "But I really think Nicole is my soulmate. That's why I want you to see the good in Nicole." Fred pleaded with his mother, but she seemed unconvinced. However, she didn't say anything more at that moment. Normally, that should have been the end of it. However, as they were about to leave, Fred's mother forcefully stopped them and insisted on going out to eat. During the meal, she managed to look down on Nicole from head to toe. I hate to say it, but I don't feel like I can get along with her. It's really strange. I think you'd understand what I mean if you met her, Fred's mother expressed. "I see," I replied, feeling frustrated. I wanted to join in and complain together, but all I could do was watch over Nicole as she hit this wall. The harassment from Fred's mother continued. During a meal, when Fred had left the table to pay, she seemed to have asked Nicole to exchange contact information. "Since we're going to be involved for a while, I'd like to have your contact information," she said. "Fred is a kind-hearted person, so I have to protect him from being deceived by someone like you," she added. Nicole wondered how much more she needed to say for this woman to be satisfied. But Nicole was too scared to say anything, and since she couldn't find a reason to refuse, she gave her contact information. This marked the beginning of a hellish period for her. She started receiving several emails a day from Fred's mother, driving her nearly insane. Fred's mother just couldn't get over Nicole's middle school education. No matter how respectable a job Nicole had, it didn't matter to her. I never thought my education would lead to such a character assassination. Nicole lamented. Is being a middle school graduate really that bad? She asked. What are you saying? That's just a few people talking. Don't worry about it, I reassured her. Yeah, you're right. If you say so, then it must be true, Nicole replied, trying to stay positive. Absolutely. Be confident. I encouraged her. I spent days trying to keep her spirits up. The idea of educational discrimination seemed outdated, but Fred's mother remained unsatisfied. Eventually, she insisted, I want to see the parents. I will convince your parents. Surely they aren't middle school graduates too, right? What do you mean? They aren't middle school graduates, Nicole replied, confused. Ah, good. It would be terrible to get involved with such worthless people anyway. Bring your parents to this restaurant at 12 p.m. this Saturday, and don't tell Fred about this. Let's talk, just between us, Fred's mother demanded. Nicole reported that she had said these things. At that moment, she tried to stand up to Fred's mother, but it seems her anger only fueled her more. But I love Fred. I want to support him for the rest of my life, Nicole pleaded. What useless? A middle school graduate like you can't understand a college graduate like Fred. We live in different worlds, Fred's mother retorted, determined to separate Nicole and Fred. She seemed to think it was useless to speak to Nicole, so she resolved to convince me. The more I heard, the angrier I became. What? That's unbelievable, I exclaimed. But she seemed serious. She was really angry, like a demon. Well, we have no choice then, I sighed. Since we had reached a point where we had to settle things, I decided to finish my work quickly over the weekend to prepare for that day. Of course, I made some preparations, expecting whatever she might say. And the day arrived. When we arrived at the designated restaurant, Fred's mother was already there. Nice to meet you. I'm Patty, Nicole's mother. I introduced myself. What? Where is the father? I went out of my way to schedule this on the weekend to accommodate the father, Fred's mother responded, dressed in branded clothing and seemingly flaunting her wealth as she insulted us without a greeting, looking down on us from her high horse. I was utterly appalled by this woman. You're wearing that to a meeting? Couldn't help but remark, well, I suppose a middle school graduate and her child can't afford brand name clothes. And it wouldn't suit you anyway, she sneered. I worried that even my involuntary sigh might be overheard by Fred's mother, given the malicious gaze she shot us, as if expecting my husband to show up behind us. He's late. The agreed time has long passed, she grumbled impatiently. My husband. He's not here. We're a single-parent family, I clarified, stunned by her assumption. What? You're joking, right, Nicole? I wasn't informed of this, Fred's mother responded, shocked. It's not a joke. My mother raised me to be who I am, Nicole affirmed. The face of Fred's education-focused mother, upon hearing the words middle school dropout and single-parent family, was one of sheer disbelief. She probably couldn't accept that someone of the same race, let alone her son's potential wife, was standing in front of her with such a background. Initially, she might have wanted to belittle and look down on us, but her anger quickly rose, turning her face red. Before we could even start the conversation, she slammed the table and started hurling insults. Our family is elite. Poor dropouts should just go home. You're an eyesore, she spat. Excuse me, I interjected, taken aback. And a single-parent family? That's unacceptable. Sadly, your daughter fails, and you permitting a middle school dropout are a failure as a parent, Fred's mother continued, her anger escalating. Looking like steam was about to burst from her face, she insulted me, calling me a failed parent. Being a single-parent family was unacceptable to her. The daughter fails, and the mother is a failure, she concluded, creating a trifecta of rage. She might have been angry, feeling betrayed or deceived. But I was infuriated for a different reason. How dare you show your face in a fancy restaurant, relying on me to pay the bill? Aren't you lucky to get a free meal? Fred's mother sneered, her triumph evident. Nicole was speechless in front of her triumphant attitude. More than sadness, it was a moment of bewilderment for her. After all, I believed I provided Nicole with a life that lacked nothing, perhaps even more affluent than many families. But it's understandable that Nicole, still inexperienced in life, would find this situation hard to accept. She looked like she was about to cry. That's cruel. Why would you say something like that? My mother is an incredible person. I want to live like her. Nicole finally spoke up, her voice trembling. What? Are you going to mimic approving of being a middle school dropout and single-parent family? Seriously, that's the end. I've never seen such people. You're like natural wonders, Fred's mother mocked. Couldn't stand it any longer. After all, this woman knew nothing about me. Fred's mother's taunts continued, eventually insisting that Nicole break up with Fred. I wondered how best to demean her, but I realized that complicated explanations wouldn't work with this kind of woman. At the mention of firing and termination, Fred's mother momentarily froze, taking time to grasp the situation, and I didn't miss her expression. Oh, you didn't know where your husband works. What do you mean? Surely not, right? I mean, you, the diligent and perfectionist wife, must know everything about your husband, right? I taunted. Fred's mother began to visibly shake. Indeed, she was so focused on other people's educational backgrounds that she didn't even know where her own husband worked or who his employer was. It seems you're good at finding faults in others but not doing your homework. How careless. I continued, not backing down. Don't joke with me, acting all high and mighty. We're an elite family. Did you perhaps think you had won the moment you heard middle school dropout? If so, that's a huge blunder, I asserted. What are you, huh? Even if my husband changed shifts frequently, and let's say was only a high school graduate, my son Fred is still a graduate from a prestigious university, and your daughter is just a middle school dropout. Fred's mother emphasized, continuing to flaunt her emphasis on educational background. Anyone truly intelligent would realize who holds the upper hand at this point, but it seems Fred's mother still hasn't caught on. Mother, it's true. I was raised in a single-parent family and am a middle school dropout. Nicole interjected, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. But my mom is the president of a large corporation that manages 4,000 employees. Did you not know that your husband is one of those employees? I questioned, feeling a surge of anger. What? Wait a minute. 4,000 employees? That can't be true. Fred's mother exclaimed in disbelief. It's no lie. If you were really unaware, please take a look at this business card. I insisted, handing over the company's business card. Fred's mother blinked in astonishment, alternating her gaze between the card and me, probably doing this about 10 times. It was a business card with a photo, so she was verifying its authenticity. This can't be. Is this a real business card? She questioned, unwilling to accept reality before her. The whole situation was infuriating to begin with, but Fred's mother's actions trying to ruin Nicole and Fred's lives over something like educational background angered me even more. So I decided to retaliate, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, by deciding to fire her husband. After confirming the authenticity of the business card, Fred's mother finally realized the gravity of the situation. Though she seemed to understand that I was the president, her heart couldn't accept it, and she glared at me displeased. And then I decided to reveal another truth. And one more thing. Your husband doesn't have the impressive education you brag about, does he? I challenged. What do you mean? My husband graduated at the top of his class. She protested. But there's no proof of that, is there? I countered. Well, you see. Fred's mother stumbled, clearly caught off guard. Nicole and I could only be amazed. There's a limit to being delusional. It felt unbelievable that we were dealing with such a person. Believing in one's family is admirable, but that doesn't give anyone the right to belittle others based on education. But since I've decided to fire her husband, whatever comes next hardly matters. It's time to tell the truth. Your husband's highest level of education is high school, isn't it? I revealed. What? Well, you see. Moreover, he joined our company in his 30s through mid-career recruitment and even failed the interview. Fred's mother admitted, her facade crumbling under the weight of the truth. Twice, only after he pleaded, did we reluctantly hire him. That's impossible. Fred's mother protested, shaken by being told something she never wanted to hear. Her demeanor shifted from confident to frightened. But this conversation is far from over. That's not all. Your husband isn't even a full-time employee. I continued, determined to reveal the truth. No, stop it. Why would I lie in this situation? Fred's mother exclaimed, her voice trembling. Indeed, after some investigation for this day, it turned out her husband worked for my company. Recollecting a report from HR about a person insisting on working for us decades ago, now I realized that was her husband. Despite lacking knowledge and experience for immediate employment, he was hired as a contractual employee. He's been working without causing any troubles and could have worked until retirement in our company. Yet Fred's mother remained unsatisfied. I can't trust what you say. Living a life full of lies. Single-parent middle school dropout. Those are blots on your life, she accused. Excuse me. Now she claims she can't trust what I say, although it's actually her living a life piled with lies. Anyway, I won't hand over Fred. He's mine. I declared firmly. What is that? If you come any closer to Fred, I'll call the police. Got it. Don't ever contact him again, Nicole added, standing her ground. In the end, the discussion concluded like that, and the enraged Fred's mother left without even settling the bill. It was terrible how she called us out just to end things this way. The restaurant became quiet after Fred's mother left. This place has been a long-time support for my business. Of course, the owner and the staff were worried about us. Some were even saying, what was she thinking speaking to the president like that? What did she want to say, really? It's like she just ran away. Let's just forget about it, I remarked, trying to move on. So, I decided to enjoy a rare meal at the restaurant with Nicole, preparing for the inevitable counterattack from that woman. This story didn't end there. If her actions were to ruin Nicole and Fred's marriage, that would be unacceptable. Action was needed. About a week after being insulted by Fred's mother, Nicole received a call from her. It happened while Nicole, Fred, and I were having dinner. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Why are you calling all of a sudden? Nicole asked, surprised. Don't what me? My husband is talking about divorce, and Fred told me he wants to cut ties with me as a parent. Surely all of this is your doing. Take responsibility. Pay me compensation. Fred's mother yelled over the phone, her voice filled with anger. Listening on speaker, we were stunned by Fred's mother's outburst. Having anticipated something like this, I couldn't help but feel a sense of vindication. Fred, initially planning to stay silent, finally spoke up. Mom, it's me, Fred. Why are you still with that woman? I was worried because I couldn't reach you. She's no good. Come back home now. Fred pleaded. What are you talking about? I've told you many times I'm going to marry Nicole. Why keep interfering? Besides, I've been thinking of cutting ties with you as a parent. Fred declared firmly. What are you saying? You can't just cut ties with a parent? Nicole was raised by a single mother and is a middle school dropout. You understand that, right? You should definitely stop marrying a woman who hasn't received a proper education. It's something I oppose. Fred's mother argued furiously. Fred's mother was furious. She might have thought Fred was unaware of what she said at the restaurant. Only she didn't realize everything was already out in the open. Do you really think Fred didn't know about that day? I wondered silently. Huh. Oh, sorry. I told Fred everything. I thought Fred didn't know about the restaurant conversation. His mother seemed assured, but my daughter was reliable in such times. It seems Nicole anticipated the turmoil and was prepared. I happened to have a voice recorder, so I recorded everything. I thought it would be better to show Fred your true nature. Fred was shocked. It's no wonder he decided to cut ties. What have you done? You're breaking up a family, and you don't care. Fred's mother accused. No, no, no. Everything is your fault, isn't it? Indeed, Nicole had recorded the entire exchange. Feeling something might happen, she recorded it to share with Fred. The recording proved to be very useful. Upon hearing it, Fred went from stunned to furious. He also played it for his father, leading to discussions of divorce and cutting parental ties. Anyone would see this situation as unreasonable, and Fred's mother deserved what came to her. At this point, the cornered Fred's mother had no choice but to accept her defeat. Fred, please listen to me, she pleaded. Please, I had my reasons. You know I just wanted Fred to be happy, she added, calling herself Mama in such a pitiful voice, desperately trying to convey her thoughts. But Fred wasn't having any of it. I never thought you could be such a terrible person. I'm disappointed, Fred replied firmly. Fred, please don't say things like that, his mother begged. No, I can't do this anymore. It's seriously over, Fred declared coldly. Rejected coldly by her beloved son, Fred's mother completely lost her place in the world. No amount of crying or pleading seemed to change Fred's mind. Dad said you were the worst, too. He's always said you judge people only by their education. There are plenty of people who didn't finish high school, but still started successful businesses. Anyway, both Dad and I have decided to cut ties with you. So take care and don't contact Nicole anymore. Please just listen to me. Will you? That's why I'm saying it's over, Fred explained, cutting ties decisively. Fred's mother, disowned even by her cherished son, was utterly defeated. I predicted this would be the last time we'd speak with her and had the last word. What a shame, huh? The things you do always come back to bite you. And let me drive this home. If you try anything that hurts my precious daughter again, it won't end well for you. Remember, everything you say and do to Nicole gets back to me, I warned firmly. Despite her continuous excuses and apologies, Fred's mother begged, I'm sorry. It was my fault. But please let me talk to Fred at least one last time. Tired of her incessant demands, I unilaterally ended the call and immediately blocked her number. Even her emails were blocked. Wondering why Fred's mother would contact Nicole, it turned out Fred had already blocked her number. It seems the divorce between Fred's parents was imminent, with Fred's mother being told to pack her things and leave the house within a few days by Fred's father. Fred's father decided on divorce not just because of the criticism about education, primarily because she tried to ruin Fred's happiness from the beginning of their marriage. He had informed her he was a high school graduate and had promised to work hard and provide for the family. Despite moving between companies and never taking any money for himself, Fred's father worked tirelessly for his family. Being undervalued and looked down upon led to his breaking point. Abandoned by her hard-working husband and disowned by her beloved son, Fred's mother faced a bleak future with no money, no home, and no family. It was instant karma. Having never worked outside the home, She now faced the daunting task of earning her own living. Though she won't be able to maintain her previous lavish lifestyle or act superior to those around her, she'll have to manage somehow. Currently, she's said to be doing physical labor at a night construction site. Eventually, Nicole and Fred's wedding date was set. Seeing their happy faces made me incredibly joyful. They seemed to be tied by the red string of fate. As for Fred's father, despite saying he was fired in front of Fred's mother, his diligent and excellent work ethic was well known among his colleagues. Although his education was lower compared to other employees, he had become indispensable to the company and was relied upon by his juniors. Deciding it would be impossible to fire such a dedicated worker, I only bluffed in front of Fred's mother. He will continue working at my company. It feels strange to become relatives with Fred's father through the marriage of our children, but I believe we can build a good relationship going forward. Nicole looked exceptionally happy, which meant the world to me. Mom, thank you for raising me. I will make Nicole happy for the rest of our lives, so please rest assured. Fred assured. No parent could hear those words without shedding a tear. Fred, please take good care of Nicole from now on. I believed my husband in heaven would also be pleased. As a mother, I'll continue to watch over them, hoping for their lifelong happiness.